in the orientation, somehow my settings on the live stream got switched to vertical. I don't know. Do you guys like a vertical live? It's more like the shorts and the TikToks and all that. But I'm a classic widescreen guy here, so we're going to do a quick live inspection of some penetrations right here in this general area on a commercial building. It's a commercial roof, and the fact that it's commercial businesses, but it is a sloped roof. I'd say about a 612, 512 pitch, asphalt shingles, roof over. First thing I do when I check the bottom edge there is look up under the shingles and see if it's more than one layer. Even for a leak, the reason being for two things. One, if you got to repair something, if you got bad wood, you're gonna have to cut down through 2 layers of shingles, repair the bad wood, then build it back up. And if you don't know that you're not realizing it, it's gonna have a dip to it when you do the repair. So never a fan of a roof over, but whatever, at least whoever did actually tuck all the penetrations. So the flashings and everything are tucked. What we got going on is in this minefield of utilities, there's a leak coming in a room right by a light. And in the light, you can see a little spot where it's dripping in, so there's obvious water. We're going to rule out the fact that it's not a condensation issue because it's not happening throughout the hot, dry summer days, only when it rained. But we've got our about 4, 5, 6 or so, actually there's more, box vents, but at least a few in this general area. There are 3 concentric vent stacks we're going to look at, and there are, 4 larger stove vent pipes here. So I'm going to let you guys live. I'm going to be your camera. We're going to walk around and see if we can learn something from this, and then the people that do watch this channel later maybe learn some things to look out for. So it did rain last night. I got about 1/10 of an inch, and my rain gauge just west. And I'm bringing up chat here if anyone's got any questions. I believe I've already found the issue. Got here up on the roof. Found some issues with this and the point of the video, so we can probably learn from this, especially with concentrics, because you don't come across those too terribly often. Then we're going to get into the actual issue. So we'll switch the camera around, see what we can learn here. All right, so I was able to go inside, see the leak inside. First step's what I do, see what we're working with, and then document quick photos of the property. I'm going to try to get to an exterior window, door, something to look out. So in this case, it was just off the side of this Durango here. Set the ladder up in this area, do my inspection check on how many roof layers. Also inside, there was about 30 feet or so of room before I get to the leak. So we're in the area of this minefield. So first off, anyone's got a question and think they might know what to look for, type it in chat quickly. I'll give you a quick second here as I bring up live chat. You got rug? Yeah, I do want to be quick because it is starting to spit rain again. So we're going to look in here, and I did, after coming up on the roof the first time, did go into the attic to actually verify some issues. So first thing, no obvious damage, no wind damage, no shingles missing, no raccoon ripped a hole through anything. In my area, it's very common. A few times a year, I see vent pipes lifted up because of raccoons. I've seen aluminum vent pipes lifted up, and you can see hair where animals are getting in. I don't see any of the obvious damage. So now we're going to look at possible installation error here. We're going to look for a pattern, make sure something didn't get stacked. We're also going to be aware of the nail placement, because if you have a nail right here where 2 shingles come together, over time that will rust out. Those leaks typically develop, in my opinion, about 5 to 7 years. It takes a while for that galvanized coating to wear off, and you get a little hole. Over time it gets worse, rusts out, then you got a little drip where it catches and runs right in. We'll roll a lot of that out, but I see a few things. This is kind of a mess. I don't even know what it is. We're going to look at the flange, where it's tucked, any holes on the bottom, and if so, how close and far out they are. I see a little dip right here. We're going to look at this. Usually what you'll see is the rubber seal go bad. Somebody tried to caulk these or silicone them, something. Alright, so the plastic boots don't look terrible. It's not my first choice, but they don't look terrible. Although this looks bad. I don't think it's leaking at all. Looks like somebody's been out here to try to attempt to seal these up. Nothing above. The box vents themselves are tucked. Nothing there. I'm going to do something with this here in a few because the rain is coming. I don't have time to do a repair here. But we're just going to try to stop it. Alright, anyone have any clues? Quick question in the comment. Let me know your thoughts are. Nobody. Just here for learning. Alright, so concentric vent pipes. I did do a video in the attic. If you want to watch that, I'll post that later. So typically, you'll see, and I'm no HVAC guy. Let me rephrase that here. I'm not an HVAC guy, I'm just a roofer, all right? But I see a lot of leaks around these. So typically with a furnace, you're gonna have exhaust gas go out. They can point straight up in the air. Any water runs into it, work its way through the drain into the P-trap condensation area, not an issue. Your air inlet, sometimes it pulls static air from the room. Sometimes they go into the attic and pull air. Sometimes they go through the roof and turn down and pull air. A concentric does both in one. You got the exhaust that comes out, and you got the air inlet that sucks into the bottom. So this 2-inch pipe here runs inside here, and inside the attic area, about 4 feet down, or from here probably about 3 feet down, it'll branch off with some Ys. That's where they call the concentric, at least that's what I call them. I've seen over time where these are broke, so we're going to watch that. Any rain that comes in this pipe will work its way down, but if the liner's cracked, it's going to get inside here. It could run down in here. Then if you have a broken fitting or a condensation gathering over time, and say you get a cold snap and you get below freezing, it could expand and crack the pipe. Some things to look for. Not often, and the leaks aren't a ton of water. So the leak that came in on this, I'm like, okay, it's not really a condensation issue from that, they're broken pipe, but nevertheless, we're gonna look for it. So with that being said, switch camera. We're just gonna look around the ring here. Now when we're doing a roof, I'm not a fan of the concentrics when they glue them. It's a pain in the ass because you got to replace the pipe boots. You can't stretch a rubber seal over this and have it make a good seal. So in my opinion, the good contractor, HVAC guys, don't glue these on. You simply wobble them and they'll pop off. This appears to be glued. This one seems to be glued. Otherwise, you just rock it a few times and it comes free. This one, it was hard to see because actually I pulled it off a few times. Do you see anything weird in here? Yeah, that's not good. So this is an issue, but it's not the issue. So you can even see over time stuff's been getting in and around this. Now for that to leak, you would have to have a broken fitting or something inside. And again, it's not conducive to the amount of damage I was seeing, because just assume if you get 1 inch of rain today, 1 inch of rain in this square surface, I'm no math major, but whatever the pi formula is to find a square area of this, you're going to get 1 inch of rain in times that square area. Not a lot. And then it's going to run through the pipes. I'm ruling that out. Although it is an issue. Get this fixed. Get an HVAC guy out to do that. Going into the attic, I did a video, like I said. This is our culprit right here. Some things you're going to look for, and I've talked about this in many other videos. It doesn't matter if it's a box vent penetration, an RVK1A, a stove vent like this, a close-cut valley, does not matter. Where you have shingles that are cut and water comes in, it's going to catch that fine point. You need to dog ear those. That's one thing to be aware of. This is sealed down. I'm not going to break the seals to get in and check. That's at the top laminate. Something else more common, water coming in and around. Where is it going? Nail placement, nail zones. You can see in some of these, that's not bad. You can see the dirty water trail showing an area where water's been getting in over time. That one looks a little bit worse. The flange on these, you can see it stops right here. So it only comes out 1.5 inches, 2 inch tops. Not, I mean, that's a stretch then. So from this point here, water's coming down, could easily catch the top corner of this shingle, which resides somewhere right about here, could easily be falling right off of that due to surface tension and off the flange, working its way down in. Easily possible for that, as well as the nails here. Whatever the case be, it is getting in under the flange. And in this bottom edge, there's a metal ring that screws up to the top of the bottom underside of the roof deck. And it's rotten right through here. So somewhere the water's coming in around it and literally dripping straight down into the ceiling, causing a leak. You can go up there, I can feel it's wet. This is the vent pipe here. Also in the attic, taking a note, that is the second west from the east one here, or just note which one it is. My opinion, this needs to come out. We need to make sure and verify that the corners are cut, see what's going on, why, replace it the correct way. I'm not a fan of these big guys here, but some other common issues are nails way too low on the flange. Like say, I am a fan of nailing down the bottom edges here in my area, because I've seen a lot of leaks due to wind-driven rain. Based on the pitch of the slope, the wind direction, what facet facing, are you facing the predominant winds, things like that. But the mistake people make when they do nail the flange down the bottom is they put them way too far out, way too far low. Water wicks in down the edge here. You don't want that. You want to make them up and in. Put a screw in it, even one up high where water's not going to get to with a good seal, something. But you don't want them on the outer edge. The outer edge is worse than no nail at all. Now, the other issue I wanted to point out here was, I don't know if I covered it in the live already, is the fact that you can see that water trail there, where it's working its way off of this drip channel here, down over to the side here. All right, we're getting some rain. Just for the time being, I'm using GSL, one of my favorite roofing brand products for roof stuff. It's gonna make a bit of a mess. We're gonna caulk this top side down the side here to bypass any water from getting in further, just because we're gonna get rain the rest of the day today. And I'm gonna try to stop the leak from getting any worse. So I'm gonna do that real quick off camera because I gotta get busy. Chat, let's check chat real quick. Wow, nobody in chat. All right, I don't know. We're at 10 minutes. If you guys could, you know what to do. It really does help support the channel here. I do this, it takes time out of my time for you guys to learn. So someone else out there looking for it, if you could, smash it for them, not for me. I really care less. I'm just enjoying getting wet now, and I'm gonna have a short day today. So until next time, be safe, and we'll see you on the next video.